This poem is by David Cale, and some of you purists out there, you know who you are, will probably disagree with me and say it is not poetry, but I believe it is beautiful, and even if it isn't poetry, it's nice to take a little deviation now and then. It's entitled, I Wish I'd Have Met You Before He Did. In a stranger's house, in the middle of North Carolina, you move around the room cautious and a little wary, distrustful of the people around you. Then, as some surprise, you take me to one side and say, let's go for a drive. Your car is a long gray sports car. I try to act blasé, like I get into sports cars all the time. A ride in your car is reminiscent of heaven. You turn up the Aretha Franklin George Michael duet while I look at your forearms. I knew you were waiting for me. You tell me, it probably sounds foolish, but you like animals more than people sometimes. And all I want to do is kiss you on the mouth and agree. You tell me about your childhood. It sounds like a car crash. I try to keep my intentions underneath the conversation. I don't want you to recognize the way I'm looking at you. We have the top down on the car. When I talk, I'm looking at the side of your mouth. Your speech is soft, but somehow it gets into my stomach. You're a kind person. Every word that comes out of you has cushions round it. We drive past the house where John Coltrane was born. It's a blue bar now, on the other side of the railroad tracks. You say, my life's becoming this vague dream that I can hardly remember. Neither of us notice that for a moment the car has left the ground, and both of us are swimming. We get lost somewhere in the middle of North Carolina. You can't remember the town we're staying in. I say, I can't remember either. I'm lying. I knew exactly where we were. I just don't want to go back there again. I just want us to keep driving. I'll forget my occupation, leave the apartment behind. I'll make you happy. I'll wind down the windows. I'll clean your clothes. I'll punch holes in your darkness. I'll crack jokes. I want to be the thing you discover you didn't realize you were looking for. And just as I'm running the list of what will be my new functions in life, you remember the town we're staying in. Damn! You ask a couple of people on bicycles for directions. As they're explaining, I start to feel contempt for children. I hope they're lying, so they'll send us further astray, so we can be lost even more. I want it to get dark so there's no choice but to stay out all night. I want to run out of gas. I want to check into a motel and roll around on your speech. Being with you, all past relations seem like hopeless mistakes. Aretha Franklin starts to sing another tune. This time she's left George Michael behind. This time she's on her own. The sky in North Carolina turns deep red. The buildings we pass become familiar. And I realize we're nearly home. As we get close to the house, I can feel myself withdraw, and there's only one thought that goes through my mind. I wish I'd have met you before he did.